Let me know once you're ready. Yes, perfect. Okay, I just want to say congratulations on the A.F.R.O, on behalf of A.F.R.O eBoard and A.F.R.O executive, our A.F.R.O team known as the Residential Education. We want to thank you and congratulate you for the acceptance on A.F.R.O's Living and Learning Community. You are all selectively picked to live with us, and we are here with open arms, and we're excited to see you all flourish in these next couple years.
Hi, everyone. So what we will be covering in this webinar is A.F.R.O's welcome video, Juneteenth in a moment of silence, A.F.R.O's statement of solidarity, the eBoard and faculty introductions, and then we're going to talk about what A.F.R.O is, and that includes the history, the mission and memorandum of understanding, as well as the bylaws. And then we are going to talk about what you should expect as a member of our learning community. Then we will talk about program incentives, open eBoard positions, the Black Identities Fall 2020 Spark Seminar. We will take a look at the staff contact page, and then at the end we will have a Q&A for you all to ask us any questions that you want us to answer.
Also, I would like to add that we will hold all questions at the very end. However, if you have any burning questions, you're more than welcome to ask them in the group chat. And our wonderful historian and prior president of A.F.R.O, Kiera Jackson, will be able to answer any of all your questions. Okay, here we're going to get into A.F.R.O's video. This captures our A.F.R.O experience. Most of us we lived in A.F.R.O Hall or knew someone that was very passionate about A.F.R.O, and we're just going to show you a little clip of it. Oh, snap.
Did you share your audio by chance?
Huh?
Did you share your audio by chance?
Yes, I did. Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Technical difficulties, you guys. We apologize.
Yes. Bear with us real quick.
Are you sure that your computer volume is cut all the way up?
Yes.
If not, then I think it's completely fine. We can just play the video and then they can see the pictures and things like that. We apologize, you guys.
Yes. Okay.
And then maybe we can kind of like narrate some things. So this is A.F.R.O orientation from this past year. It was really amazing. Everybody had a really amazing time. This is still A.F.R.O orientation.
We had some games where we had Oreos and we had people walk around. This was our general body meetings. These happen twice a month. This was our first night in A.F.R.O Hall. There was a lot of things that were happening. These are some of our residents. We take celebrations of birthdays very important. So just let us know when your birthday is, and we'll do something really cool for all of y'all. We also have social justice retreats that were offered to our A.F.R.O Hall students. And this is something.
The eBoard celebrating.
We also have a roller skating rink in Merced, so people go out there. And this is the STEP team. Some of our A.F.R.O Hall students are in STEP, and they were performing in the beginning of the school year. These are some A.F.R.O Hall students performing at ASU. And then Black Family Day is one of our biggest events. It's where we bring out families, we eat, we listen to music, and we dance. We also have a dance team, and families come out. It's just a really great experience for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we're in the elevator, people always sing. So this is another capture of just a really fond memory. And we had skits and Afro GVMs. I believe this one was based on how we feel in the community. We have community service hours, and this was an adoption day at PetSmart, where people pet cats and then also walk dogs. Another birthday celebration that was shared with the A.F.R.O students. We had a bonfire.
As you can see, we really be turning up in our hall.
Yes.
We really do.
This was Zumba.
Mm-hmm.
And another general body meeting. Some people had turtles. They were so cute. We have a Black History Spirit Week that's held in February. That's really fun.
Mm-hmm. This is still Black Family Day.
And some of us like to walk to a Yosemite Lake. And so this is A.F.R.O. We're gonna also post the video in the email. So if you want to also listen with audio, you're more than welcome to do that. But that's a little snippet of A.F.R.O. Okay. Please bear with me.
Google does not like us today.
Yes.
It does not like us at all.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I apologize in advance. Oh, wow.
Did you try pressing the back arrow, Maya? The back arrow? Is that doing anything?
No, it's not doing anything. Okay, here, perfect. I apologize, everyone. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Once again, I want to thank you all for coming on your Friday evening, and I want to wish you all a happy Juneteenth. I'm going to drop a little bit of history on you. A lot of people don't know about our special celebration, so now that I'm letting you know, I want y'all to go around and spread this information. So contrary to popular belief, a lot of people think that Juneteenth is the day that slaves were freed and emancipated, which is not the truth. Juneteenth actually commemorates and celebrates the fact that after the Emancipation Proclamation was dropped by Abraham Lincoln, Texas slaves didn't find out for another 2 years. There are a lot of assumptions about why this happened. Some people think that it's because people wanted to wait for the next cotton harvest, and they wanted to get all the work they could out of Texas slaves. You know, a lot of the assumptions, they're all up in the air. It doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, the slaves in Texas were not freed until 2 years and a day after the Emancipation Proclamation was passed. So the Juneteenth became a day to celebrate the fact that we are free and that we do have freedom and that we do have power within ourselves. And not a lot of communities celebrate that, but with the things that are going on right now, I really want to make sure that y'all understand that this is our day to celebrate. While every day is our day, this is the day that we need to make a national holiday. This is the day that we need to make sure that everyone knows about. It needs to be taught in history books because they can't keep us down anymore. So that was a little bit of what Juneteenth is. But we also want to remember all of our fallen people of color, men of color, women of color, Black people specifically, and hold a moment of silence. It's only going to be a minute, and I would appreciate if y'all would keep your mics off and just sit and reflect on the fact that we are in a state of crisis. We haven't ever not been in a state of crisis, but it's becoming clear to the world that Black people are under attack each and every day. So I'm going to start the minute, and when I'm done, I'll thank you all. All right, so that was our minute. Thank you all for participating in a moment of silence. Even though that was a single minute on this Juneteenth, every day you should reflect on the fact that we're alive and we're still pushing for justice, and we're going to make sure that we're going to get out of this better than where we were before. So thank you.
So like Kiara was saying, during this time of crisis, and just really in general, we wanted to let you guys know that even though we are new faces, and it may take some time to build a connection with us, we will always be here for you to voice any concerns, opinions, feelings, or issues that you may have. And please utilize us as a resource for support, reassuring advice, or even just a listening ear. We all love to talk, and we also love to learn about just people in general. We really want to build that connection with you all. So please feel free to utilize us. We will always be here for you guys. And thank you again. Maya, I think you're muted. Maya. Okay. I don't know if it's just me that can't hear. Oh, am I going crazy? Can you guys hear Maya by chance?
No. Maya, can you hear us? You're muted, hon.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I apologize. Well, hello. We're going to do the introductions of our A.F.R.O Executive Board along with our A.F.R.O residential education team. And we're all here to help guide everyone throughout their journey at University of California, Merced. And this picture captures our past e-board, and we're just going to honor them and also move forward in the future for this upcoming year. So hello, everyone. My name is Maya Jenkins. I identify as she, her, or hers. I'm the current president of African for Retention Outreach. I'm from the Bay Area, Oakland, California. I am a third-year biological science major with the emphasis of human biology. My role as the president is to ensure organization between the programs and activities aligned with the Constitution and mission. I also oversee the executive board and community by being the liaison with club advisors. But most importantly, I'm here as a mentor. If you ever need any help or advice on anything, I'm here for you. Fun fact about me is that in 4th and 5th grade, my teacher made our class into a choir, and we're very talented where we learned the violin, we danced, we sang. So a lot of people started to notice us with the mayor and people in China. So they made us they flew us out there to China to perform. So yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Violet. I'm from Sacramento, California. Woo-hoo! I'm a third year, and I'm also a critical race and ethnic studies major with a minor in sociology, and I'm also I'm on the pre-veterinary track as well. So my role as the internal vice president and secretary, I serve as the bridge of communication between our students and administration. So I not only make sure that everyone's concerns and needs are being addressed, but I work to keep all details of our organization presentable, organized, and cohesive. And a fun fact about me is that I want to start a rescue organization or a veterinary clinic for animals. And
okay, this is Kara Hill. She will be entering the Zoom a little later. However, she identifies as she's, hers, and hers. She's the external vice president for A.F.R.O. She's from LA. And she's a second year. She is a computer science major and engineering. Her role as the external vice president is to create a fun community service events. This is dealing with some of our events, going to PetSmart or joining the doing Zoom meetings with doing Zoom meetings with the I apologize. I'm so sorry. But anyway, we have a lot of community service events, and she deals with that along with outside events like retreats with other orgs or with us. A fun fact about her is that she is an old soul at heart, and she loves crackers at night. So yeah, saltine crackers. Oh, like club, I believe. So that's Kara Hill.
I can also present Hope. So Hope is our publicist. She's from San Diego, California. She is a third year human biology major. And as the publicist, she maintains social media accounts with constant updates and activities for our followers as well as the public. And a fun fact about her, she's a triplet. As much as she says she doesn't, they all kind of really look alike. She doesn't think that they do, but they, in my opinion, they do. But that's a really cool fun fact about her.
Hi everyone, it's me again. My name's Kiera. I'm from East Palo Alto, California. I'm the acting historian, which means that if y'all want to come for my job, that's perfectly fine with me. I want to make sure y'all grow in leadership. So if you know how to take pictures, I'm looking at you. I need someone on campus, okay? I'm a junior, class of 2022. I'm double majoring in psychology and critical race and ethnic studies, which is CRES. I'm trying to convince my academic advisor to let me minor in global arts. She doesn't want to let me, but I'm going to show her that I can do it. So hopefully I'm going to get 2 degrees in a minor. We're gonna pray. I was the former president for the last year, 2019-2020. Like I said before, I'm the acting historian. Fun fact about me, I'm a giant theater nerd. So if you know any musicals, let me know. I will sing it with you. We can go to Merced Theater when it opens back up. We can go have a good time. And I can sing Hamilton forwards and backwards. I've seen it twice on matinee. And then my what I want to call attention to is hashtag protect Black women at all costs. As I'm sure a lot of you know, a lot of Black women have been being murdered and killed and hurt in the streets, and that's not okay. I feel like the Black Lives Matter movement, while it is good, it hasn't necessarily taken spotlight on Black women, and that needs to change. So if you want more information about that, come talk to me and we can have a conversation. So yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and happy Juneteenth. My name is Dr. Whitney Pirtle. I am a professor in sociology here at UC Merced, and I serve as A.F.R.O's academic advisor. I've been in this role since it became a hall in 2014. I am from East Lansing, Michigan. I got my PhD at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, and now I'm living here in Merced. My role as an advisor is dependent on the needs that you all have as students, but I see myself as a resource for the organization and the hall. I host office hours, and I like to think through strategies of academic success for students, sometimes planning workshops and other things that might help you achieve whatever academic goals that you put forth for yourself. I also teach the Black Identity Spark seminar that you all should hopefully be taking this fall, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of this webinar. My fun fact is that I am researching colored racial identities in post-apartheid South Africa, but most recently when I was there, I was able to bungee jump off water towers in Soweto. So that's my fact. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alicia Jones. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am currently the A.F.R.O Hall Graduate Fellow. I am from Fairfield, California. I am currently a second-year PhD student in the Department of Sociology. My role as Graduate Fellow is to kind of just be a resource for all of you. As a graduate student, I'm kind of the go-between between students and other faculty. So I serve as a success coach to help support you A.F.R.O Hall scholars as you begin your college experience. And I will also be teaching the Introduction to Undergraduate Studies course. I will also be holding office hours throughout the semester. So if you want to talk about academics, I'm also there to just, if you have any questions about college in general, personal, going on with your life, I want to be there as a resource for you all. And my fun fact is that I'm a big foodie and I enjoy cooking and trying new recipes. I make my family try all the stuff I make. So thank you.
Hello, hello. Hi, y'all. My name's Lorene Fisher. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm a coordinator for women's programs and social justice initiatives in the lengthy title, the Office of Social Justice Initiatives and Identity Programs. Before I introduce myself, I just want to recognize and call into this space that while we are all connecting virtually from different locations, we do represent UC Merced, which is on the land of the Yokuts and the Miwok people, local indigenous peoples that still inhabit and care for our land and have for centuries beyond even what we come to know. And just very appreciative in calling into the space the legacy that they've left and allowed us to create our educational opportunities on. So I'm originally from Chino, California, born and raised in the Inland Empire of Southern California, and went to Arizona for all of my education, as you can see. I got my BFA in dance with minors in Africana Studies and Business Administration. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't do it all. It's just a matter of picking and choosing when you do it. And that led me into my career in higher education. So my role specifically as a coordinator within the Social Justice Office is to support all of our identity-based LLCs, and most specifically to serve as a liaison for A.F.R.O. This LLC is so unique in the sense that it is truly run and organized and maintained by a student organization, whereas most of the living learning communities do not have that depth of connection to a student organization. So my role is truly to help with the sustainability of this living learning community and making sure that you all feel supported and get the resources you need, and fill any gaps that may come along the way. Outside of the LLC itself, I do help to support all of our multicultural student organizations. I help to create social justice education opportunities. So if you saw the social justice retreat images, I am developing the curriculum and creating our plan for our next social justice retreat, which I hope you all will have the opportunity to go on, and a lot more. So just very excited to do some programming for you all and help however I can. Fun fact, dance was my degree and it is still a huge, huge, huge passion of mine. I have had 2 ACL surgeries, which I guess is a tag along to my fun fact, on the same exact knee. So although I am still healing, I believe movement is for everyone of every ability and every identity. And I bring that into my role as a dance teacher also in my free time, whenever we can say free time, at a local studio here in Atwater, which is a neighboring city of Merced. So that was lengthy, but thanks y'all. Nice to see your faces. And hopefully for those that'll view this recording, I'll get to meet you eventually.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maria Rosales. She, her, ellas are my pronouns. I'm the Associate Director for Residence Education, Living Learning Communities. I was born in Mountain View, California, but raised in Modesto, California. So I'm pretty much Central Valley grown. If you are wanting to know where to get the best tacos in this area, please come talk to me. I got my master's degree in counseling from Stanislaus State University, which is CSU Stanislaus here in Turlock, California. And I received my bachelor's in social science at Chapman University, who had a satellite office in Modesto. So I guess that could be a fun fact, right? I graduated from a college that I haven't been to. So I need to make a road trip. My role here on campus is not only to support every student on this campus to have, to be safe and be well and also have success in their own definition of what that looks like. But I also am here to help our partners implement their living learning communities. We have a total of 9, and we are expecting to grow. As part of the residence education team, I assist in overseeing all the students who live in our resident halls. So you can find me in the Valley Terrace office. That is where our team resides from, I guess. And another fun fact about me is that I used to raise Easter egg laying hens. And really what that means is that our eggs We're pastel pink, blue, green, and light brown. So welcome to UC Merced, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
Hi, everybody. My name is JC Mize. My pronouns are she, her, hers as well. I am currently the Residence Education Coordinator for the Summit, so that's Cathedral, Tenaya, and Half Dome in its entirety. I hail from West Memphis / Marion, Arkansas, so that's like close to Memphis, Tennessee, for those who don't know where Arkansas is, because many people don't. I got my education at Arkansas State University, both my bachelor's and master's. My bachelor's is in biology, and my master's is in college student personnel services, which is just a really fancy way of saying higher education. But my role as the residence education coordinator is that I supervise and work with your resident assistants to create a safe living environment, conducive to learning and community building, as well as building management for all three of those communities in their entirety. And one of my fun facts is that my current hobby is painting cartoon characters for my friends, something I picked up in the quarantine. But I'm also excited to meet every single one of you, and just know that my office door is always open anytime you want to come talk.
So
Go ahead.
So we are going to get into more information about our living and learning community. So as was stated, our LLC is located in Cathedral Summit's dorm, and it's basically a safe space providing learning opportunities focused on African diaspora. And we're going to go more into depth on that in the later slide. So what we're going to talk about now is a little bit more about what A.F.R.O is. So that includes, again, the history, the mission and memorandum of understanding, as well as the bylaws.
A.F.R.O history was founded in 2014 by Bridget and Mercy. A.F.R.O soon developed into a living and learning community and served as a safe space for Black students to thrive in their own environment. This organization is built on the 5 pillars, which are support, mentorship, scholarship, community, and retention. All these are essential in our growth of success of our students. And these are all pictures of us throughout the year.
So A.F.R.O's mission is to unite and establish an African community that focuses on academic excellence, community outreach, and providing a mentoring program that fosters student development throughout their college experience. And A.F.R.O's memorandum of understanding is basically that as a member of A.F.R.O's living and learning community, you are also a member of A.F.R.O as an organization. And what that means is that you must fulfill all requirements in order to keep your spot in our program. And we're going to talk more about that as well.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the bylaws, and these are more so for the student organization. All of these things obviously are a little bit subject due to the coronavirus, so we're going to kind of keep you updated on some of the requirements that might not be easy to fulfill. So the first thing is support, which is showing support for all the Pan-African organizations. There's 7 of us in total, which is A.F.R.O, BSU, ASU, which is African Student Union, STEP, Distinguished Ladies, NSBE, which is the National Society of Black Engineers, and the NAACP, which is our newest one. We're not saying you have to be a part of all of them. However, if they have events or if people are, coming to you and asking you to support them, all we ask is you to show your support. That may look like posting their flyers, or even just saying hello to other people when you pass up and down the hill. That may look a little different this year, but once y'all get into the real college experience, you'll see what we mean. Academics, we want you to maintain and one, obtain and then maintain a 2.75 GPA. A.F.R.O is the only Black organization on campus that really focuses on academics. It's in our name, Africans for Retention and Outreach. Once we get you, we want to keep you, not just within our organization, but within the college system as a whole. That doesn't really matter if you transfer or not. We want to make sure that our Black students are getting their degrees at the end of 4 years. So 2.75, obviously there are going to be some semesters that are going to be a little bit rougher than others. Believe me, I feel that. I'm sure everyone who's graduated has, or anyone who's in the college process right now has felt it. It's tough, but we want to make sure that we support you, and we want to make sure that you're getting the help that you need. College is hard. It's not high school. We all thought it was going to be high school, and it's not. Community service. So this pretty much lines up with A.F.R.O, like the A.F.R.O amount of community service. They'll talk about that in the next slide, but we do have an extra requirement of 2 extra hours of 10 hours. Obviously going to change because of COVID, but we're going to have virtual opportunities that may look like reading books to kids, or going out and doing like painting or mural drawing, something like that. Study hours, we have a requirement of 4 study hours a week for those of you who live on campus, and 2 hours for those of you who don't live on campus. That more pertains to second and continuing year students, so don't worry too much about that. A.F.R.O does have study sessions that y'all will be able to attend. And then dignity and respect. As an A.F.R.O student, you are expected to act like that. Please don't act crazy on campus or in the hall. We've had previous issues, my year included, where we take that college freedom and we take it and we kind of twist it to be more than what it should be. So when you're a part of A.F.R.O, we expect you to be a decent human being. Obviously, there are going to be times where you get tripped up, and that's okay, but bring it back. Represent us as a community, represent yourself as a Black person and as an intellectual. So yeah.
In this slide, we're going to cover the expected living and learning community outcomes. This is more concentrated on the first years on their contract, but this is just reiterating what Kiera was mentioning before. The students will explore African diaspora and Black culture while gaining their own personal identities through cultural events. And we have many cultural events. Some include our Black Family Day. I know the other Black organizations have African Student Union. They have a huge performance. We have workshops and GBMs of all different organizations. So there's many times where you can go and feel empowered by them. Another thing that is an outcome is students will obtain a minimum of a 2.75 GPA in their first year in our LLC, also known as Living and Learning Community. This is just a benchmark, but by all means, go beyond a 2.75, get that 4.0, Black excellence. Students will help cultivate a safe and inclusive LLC that fosters a sense of belonging in the community. That's why this organization was established for you, to have a safe place for you to flourish. A mentoring program facilitated by A.F.R.O established to help guide students throughout their college experience. Our mentorship is actually hosted by A.F.R.O, and that's where you get to choose who your mentor is, and also the mentor get to choose who their mentee wants to be. And this is just a great bonding moment for everyone to learn, and also learn from those experiences and build. Another thing is students will gain necessary skills in order to adapt in the college environment, also said before, through either mentorship or the workshops that are held. And lastly, students will learn to create and maintain a safe space to discuss and reflect current affairs.
I think something that we do want to include and share, I believe the chancellor sent out an email last week letting folks know that the priority will be given to first-year students living on campus. Something that you can expect is students will be housed in either singles or doubles, regardless of what the room is designated. So for example, we have rooms that are designated as triple, quads, and so even though they're designated as a triple and a quad, there will still be just either 1 or 2 students in a room. And all of this is due to some of the COVID protocols and changes that we have to do and implement in order to make sure that we not only keep our students safe, but that our staff and faculty is also safe. Something you can expect is that face coverings are expected anywhere outside of your room and the bathroom. So you'll be required to wear a mask anytime you enter a classroom, anytime you enter a building, essentially anytime you leave your room. Students will be expected to have a sense of community and really supporting the rest of the students and making sure that we're all doing our part in staying 6 feet apart and making sure that we don't start a spread here at UC Merced. So what you will see as well is that students will be housed in pods or dens is what they're calling them. Essentially, it's a cohort. And so in this case, the LLC will be a cohort, and the students in those cohorts will be required to take at least 1 or 2 courses in person, and the rest can be different, either in person or remote. So those are some of the things that you can expect once you come onto campus, and the way the LLC will be structured. So I think it's important to still know that building community activities will still happen as long as we are all wearing masks and staying 6 feet apart. We do follow public health guidelines. So if public health tells us that we are no longer able to gather in big groups, then we will have to follow that order. So I think it's important for me to just share with you all that there are some changes, and just expect a little less closeness physically because of COVID.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that. You know, most of us on the e-board are, well, all of us are continuing students, so we won't be able to support you physically on campus. But I do know that, and I think this goes for staff as well, having, you know, time for y'all just to speak to you virtually. I'll probably give y'all our, like, we'll probably give you our numbers, but not in this like setting. But just making sure that we're an open line of communication. Some of that support looks like trying to be closer to Merced, even though we can't be on campus. Everyone's kind of struggling with that right now, but we still want to make sure that you know that we're here to support you.
So our program incentives, I know it was a lot just listening to us talk about all of these requirements and things, so I know you would like to know what type of rewards you'll get for your accomplishments. So we have that in the form of student highlights, retreats, and visibility. So in terms of student highlights, that's mainly in terms of student of the month as well as student of the year. And this will be showcased at certain events that we will have. Like we were saying, this is tentative according to COVID restrictions, but what this would look like, for example, Black Banquet, which is something that we hope to still maybe have, where you'll basically like meet with faculty, you'll receive like, there will be awards handed out and things like that, and you guys will just basically be awarded for all of your accomplishments and stuff like that. And then in terms of retreats, we have our off-campus retreats, and those will be awarded to people, or to those of you that fulfill all of your requirements. And again, this is in accordance to COVID-19 regulations. Obviously, you know, some things that we've spoken about may change according to what is allowed. And then in terms of visibility, like Kiara was saying a couple slides ago about dignity and being able to make sure that you're representing A.F.R.O in a way that is appropriate, making sure that you remember and keep in mind that even though, yes, you are a single person, when you join A.F.R.O, just really any organization or anything in general, you're also representing that organization as well. So just please keep that in mind. And also, like it says, being a part of A.F.R.O, it really is a privilege, just really any of our LLCs. And having the title of A.F.R.O behind you, it does hold a lot of weight. A lot of our students, a lot of faculty on campus, they do know of A.F.R.O, and they know the history of A.F.R.O and things like that. And so they hold those students high. Those students that are a part of A.F.R.O, we hold high expectations for all of you, and we also expect you guys to hold high expectations for us. So if y'all see us slipping or anything like that, please feel free to let us know. But that's what our program incentives look like as of right now.
And also being a part of A.F.R.O Hall, a lot of the Black organizations, we currently have 7, they most likely tell all their information. We get the firsthand information of living in the hall because you guys are A.F.R.O Hall students. So I know that all 3 of us, we lived in A.F.R.O Hall our first year, and BSU always kept checking on us. I know NSBE always did, and ASU. So you get firsthand information on the Black community and what's going to plan out throughout the year. Okay, here we have open executive board positions. These 2 positions are very important and crucial for our e-board. And if you're interested, please do reach out to any of us. Our first position is Commissioner of Academia. We are an academic club, so this is very vital. This position entails communicating with advisors on academics, hosting weekly study sessions for the A.F.R.O Hall members, also host retention based on programming on campus, researches and reports the status of Black African students and their retention. They also support Black students on or near academic probation, and this includes checking up on a student, making sure that they get the grades that they need to. If they don't, providing help or tutors. I know we have, what is it? It's called CARE. We have a lot of tutoring on campus. We have a writing center, we have a math center, we have a chem center, and many other centers that are helped to build everybody in different fields. So if you ever need help, feel free to let us know and we can provide you with that assistance. The Commissioner of Academia also coordinates A.F.R.O's book loan, and they work with relevant campus entities, and it's just a really important role for this e-board. Another great position on the executive board is the treasurer. As you all may know, the treasurer budgets organization expenses. They keep record of financial history throughout the school year through Excel. The treasurer also contacts Office of Student Involvement, and they communicate with the executive board for necessary purchases. As we were saying before, some of our rewards are the retreat and like community service and everything like that. And in order to go out there, provide transportation, we need money for that. So the treasurer deals with that area. They also create and organize fundraisers to provide money, and they had grant writing committees. So these 2 positions are very important. And if you are very creative and working around the COVID situation right now, because we are limited, and if you have the drill and leadership, I implore you to let us know that you're interested and we can move from there.
Also, I wanted to add as well, when it comes to our e-board positions, we're not just going to throw you guys in there. There will be training and things like that. So I know a lot of this information, it can look very overwhelming, but if any of you at all are just interested in leadership or just even seeing what that's like, we do have an e-board shadowing program that we will introduce to you guys later on throughout the year. But we did want to let you guys know that. Don't look at the information and feel overwhelmed. It's all good, you guys. We're going to be here to help you guys along the way if you guys are interested.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
All right, I am back. Thank you for all of that information. I'm so excited about this upcoming year. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the Spark seminar that I'll be teaching this fall. This is actually the first time it'll be taught on campus, so it'll be new for me and new for you all, but I'm really excited about what we might create in this space. So the course description is, the course description of the class, Black Identities, is listed on the slide. What I want to do in the class is just to have a conversation through our research and our writing and our discussion about what it means to be Black. This includes asking who identifies as Black, why does being Black mean a lot to one person but very little to another person. So we get really down into the nitty-gritty about what racial identities are. Racial identities come from a social psychological background. They're a part of our self-concept, but they're also shaped within societal understandings of race, identity, and equality. So in a place like even the United States, our racial identity becomes a primary social category for us. Some people talk about this as like a master category. And being Black has become a master category in the United States for Black folks. And that's because of our racialized understanding. And I think being Black right now during this moment is so important to understand. It's important to sort of highlight and call out the anti-Blackness that we're seeing, but also to celebrate what is beautiful about Black and what Black joy might look like and how it matters for our identities ourselves. So the goal of the Spark class is to learn, go into depth about one topic, but also at an early stage in your academic career in college to learn about research. So I'm a sociologist and there will be a research aspect to that. What I'm thinking is probably it'll be an interview-based project and coincide with other work that I've been doing with students. So through this, you'll learn what it means to start a research project, how to do qualitative interviews, how to become that interviewer and ask questions and get people to talk about their lives. And then we'll put all these pieces together to sort of do an expose about what it means to be Black, especially at UC Merced. So I'm really excited about that. I did talk a bit, the class is going to be about the United States. It's also going to be about being Black at UC Merced, which is a minority serving institution, more specifically a Hispanic serving institution. But we'll also talk about Black identities outside of the United States. So what it might mean to be Black in South Africa. I said I'd do research on that. What it means to be Afro Latinx, what it might mean to be biracial, mixed with Black. So it's focusing on Black identities, but one of the key things is to understand the diversity within those identities. So we're going to be teasing out all of those concepts. It will be a cohort model, a small class. We might be able to meet in person, but independent of the mode of communication, I really hope that it becomes a powerful space where we can understand what Blackness is. So if you have questions about that, please do reach out. Okay, so I think I might jump in here. As I mentioned, my name is Dr. Whitney Pirtle. I'm the academic advisor. This is my contact information. So I said if you have questions, reach out. That's my email address. I always have office hours. Any faculty on campus is required to have office hours. So not only do I encourage you to come talk to me, but also talk to your other faculty members as well. So anytime you have questions, even during the summer, just reach out, let me know. I'm happy to help. And if I don't have the answers, I can work with you to find those answers.
Hello again. So I'm Alicia Jones. Again, I'm the graduate fellow. And this is my email where you can contact me if you have any questions about A.F.R.O Hall or UC Merced in general, or just any college student questions, life questions. You can hit me up if you want. I will also be teaching the undergraduate studies course that will be required of all first year students. So that course will be designed to just help you navigate your first year, just kind of learning how to understand the culture of college and how to advocate for yourself. So thank you.
And hi again as well. Again, my name is Lorene Fisher, and I just want to as we begin wrapping up this presentation, recognize that we have a faculty and staff contact page as a way of support, because this is completely run and organized by our A.F.R.O student organization. Who you've been hearing from during this whole presentation has been our students. So just amazing work to Maya, Violet, Kiera, and some of the folks who couldn't be here today that I know also contributed to this as well. As a reminder, y'all, I am here to support you. So if you just need help in some way or don't know where to go, I'm here to point you in the right direction or connect you with a resource. There is a lot of change happening, as you've heard many times on this call, a lot of things in flux and some things we don't even have answers for yet. And as we find the answers, I'm here to try to keep a pulse on everything going on and make sure you all get that information. So if you have any questions, of course, you can always contact the A.F.R.O Terrace email that you've been receiving emails from. You can also contact me at lfisher3@ucmerced.edu. Welcome, Bobcats.
All right, and again, my name is Maria Rosales. I'm the Associate Director for Living Learning Communities here at UC Merced. And I'm here to support the entire team who's implementing this experience for our incoming Bobcats. So welcome.
Hi again, everybody. Again, I'm JC. I'm the Residence Education Coordinator. Sometimes you'll hear me referred to as RLC. We're changing wording. So if you hear REC, RLC, it's all me. My contact information is below. And I just wanted to mention that I'll have office hours as well. So just anytime you need anything, you're more than welcome to stop by and contact me again. Like Lorene and everybody else said, we're just really here to support all of you in your journey at UC Merced. So hopefully I look forward to meeting all of you soon.
It takes a village, y'all. We're your village.
It does, it does. Well, that concludes our presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask. We have the answers. We have our A.F.R.O e-board and our A.F.R.O residential education here, staff to answer anything and any questions that you may have. Thank you all for coming out today, and we really do appreciate everything that you've done, and we welcome you to our A.F.R.O family.
I see that Tatiana raised her hand. You can go ahead and cut your mic on, or you can ask in the chat, whichever is more comfortable for you.
Yes.
Hello, thank you so much for your presentation. It was amazing. I did have a question. I was wondering, when would they have our room assignments on the housing portal? Because I know initially I signed up for A.F.R.O, but I'm not sure if it'll go through. When will we know for sure that we're in it, that the housing organization has placed us in?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and answer that question for you, Tatiana. So if you are if you are attending this webinar today, you are part of A.F.R.O Hall. Now what happens is that we will coordinate with housing and provide a list of all the A.F.R.O Hall LLC participants, and they will make sure that you're all placed in the same floor. As far as I think, yeah, and that's what I know so far. Did that answer your question, Tatiana? Yeah.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello. Hi, my name is Grace. Thank you for the presentation, by the way. It was really good. I had a question, due to the COVID-19 happening right now and students being separated into pods and dens, people who picked out their roommates, let's say, for example, if they had a triple or a quad, will we be separated as well into different rooms?
So there's a few things that go into play. So if you had a roommate group of 3, yes, you will be separated, right? We're only allowing 2 folks per room. The other thing is that I know, are your other 2 the other roommates also part of A.F.R.O Hall, Grace?
I have 3. I have 2 other roommates. They're both part of A.F.R.O Hall.
Oh, okay. So the good thing is that you'll all still be in the hall. You might not be rooming as 3, but you'll definitely be rooming as 2. And once we get a final list of who's in the hall, housing will be assigning people to rooms.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, take advantage. If you get the single room.
Yeah. Cool. I also want to add that you can find us at on Instagram, A.F.R.O UC Merced, or on our YouTube page. We recently posted A.F.R.O Speaks, which is also known as it's similar to Red Table Talk, and we talk with our community. Our past one was about the injustice system, and then you can also find us at our email at afroterrence@ucmerced.edu. So, yeah. Does anybody have any other questions? It could be for.
Sorry, I saw that Na and Tatiana raised their hand. I saw Na's first, so we'll answer hers and then we'll get to you, Tatiana.
Hi, Na.
Hi. So unlike most of the people here, I'm a sophomore, so I don't know whether I'm gonna get housing in Cathedral or I have to go off campus. So yeah, that was my question.
Na, are you a continuing student, or are you a first year incoming with a sophomore standing?
I'm a continuing student.
Yeah, so based on the email that the chancellor sent out last week, only first years will be allowed to live on campus. And the rest of the students, continuing students, will be on a wait list. And housing will be notifying students regarding that wait list.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'll add to that a little bit as well, not specific to the housing and where you'll be living necessarily, but in relation to like the benefits of the program. Hopefully you already know that any level, any year of student can be a part of A.F.R.O Student Org and just hold those membership requirements. Some of those extra benefits and opportunities, our office actually, the Office of Social Justice Initiatives, is working on receiving some grants and doing some extra funding proposals to help A.F.R.O Student Org be able to provide some of those benefits to continuing students who wanted to be part of the LLC but couldn't this year, so that you can still get some of that extra connections and resources and mentorship that you're looking for.
Thank you.
Thank you for that answer, Lorraine. I saw that Tatiana also had a question. Do you still have a question?
Yes, I do. So originally, I didn't plan on coming to a UC. I was going to attend an HBCU, actually Spelman in Atlanta, but because of COVID, my parents made me stay here in California. My question was, I believe that UC Merced has either the biggest or one of the biggest populations of African American students here in California. What is that space like?
I can listen. Let me go ahead and answer that question for you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you do. I'm really extra. I'm sorry. Yes, as of right now, from what I know, we do have the biggest population of African and African American students on campus in terms of the UC system. What that looks like, to be honest, it looks like a lot of different things. Honestly, it's really amazing to walk to your classes and things like that and see Black faces. I feel like, I don't know, it's really cool to have like all of these different clubs and organizations that can appeal to your interests. Like we were naming before, like if you are interested in engineering and stuff like that, we have an organization specifically for that. Like it's really cool to have all of these options. And really in general, I think like no community is perfect. So like, I feel like the fact that we do, even though we do have a bigger population in comparison to other UCs, it's still a small population when looking at all of the demographics at UC Merced. And so being that we're such a small community in comparison, it can be kind of a lot sometimes. It's good to have people that you can rely on and people that you can see that just look like you and have that space. But just like any other community, sometimes it can come with like toxicity and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of my view of it.
I would also like to add on to that. I was in the same situation you were in. I was deciding between Spelman and University of California, Merced. I chose, obviously, UC Merced, but that was a really tough decision I had to make. But what made me choose Merced was basically the 7 Black organizations. I didn't know that there were so many groups that, and as Violet was saying earlier, they're all different and they also all unify us in different ways. So our A.F.R.O Hall is kind of similar to living with other Black people on campus. Like, it's similar to HBCU housing in a way. You get to live with people like you, have the same goals as you. You also build really great connections with the Black faculty and the staff here on campus. So my experience was really great, and I got to meet a lot of people, great friends and everything like that. And I don't think I would have had the same experience in another school. So I'm really glad that you chose UC Merced, and we're going to provide the best experience for you through all these Black organizations.
Also, sorry, I wanted to add on to what Maya said. When it comes to A.F.R.O, like my A.F.R.O experience, because Kiara, Maya, and I, we were all in A.F.R.O Hall our first year, which is 2 years ago. We're 30 years now. But that entire experience as a whole, I feel like Maya had said, if I wouldn't have had that experience, I feel like my experience at UC Merced wouldn't be the same way. I met like my best friends in A.F.R.O Hall, Kiara, Maya, my other friend Nina, if she's watching. And I met all of my friends in A.F.R.O Hall. There were so many memories, like you guys seen in the video. There's not even enough space to even put all the memories that we've had in A.F.R.O. And it was just amazing to see, like, just be able to easily have access to people who are just like you, who have the same interests as you, and who you actually like vibe with. It's very hard to have such an easy access like you do in A.F.R.O. And so that's why, like, I personally feel like I'm like she said, I'm so happy that you did choose UC Merced. I'm happy that you chose A.F.R.O. Even though, like, even with the COVID regulations, we're still gonna do our hardest to make sure that you guys have a really, really great experience in our living and learning community.
Yes, Violet said it perfectly.
Thank
yes.
you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't know if anyone else had any questions. I haven't seen any raised hands. No one has said anything in the chat. If you guys, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. You can say it in the chat and we can answer your question from there as well. Any questions? Going once? Going twice?
3 times, okay. Well, we thank you all for coming out today. We're honored to invite you to our A.F.R.O family, and we're excited for this upcoming year. If you have any questions at all, you can contact us through Instagram or our email, or you could just get in contact with us e-board members. You can private message us. As long as you let us know, we are more than happy to answer any questions or comments or concerns that you may have. We thank you all, and I hope you guys have.
Wait, no, sorry, before you leave, I wanted to remind you guys to keep checking your emails, because we are going to send you the recording of the webinar, as well as a link to our bylaws, so you guys can have access to the requirements and things like that. And then we also we need you guys to sign your contract if you guys are seriously committed about being a part of A.F.R.O. And that will be sent out in the email as well. And the deadline for that right now is June 26th to have that signed. We're going to have it in a form of like a DocuSign. So I guess it's basically going to take you through each section. You read, make sure you read your contract, guys. Learn that, read your contract. And then you're going to initial or sign in those sections. So just make sure you check your emails. I'm not really sure what happens if you don't do it by the deadline. I think that means your spot is gone. But just that's what I said, check your emails, guys. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate you guys, and stay safe, please.
Yes, please stay safe. And we thank you all for coming. Today is Juneteenth, so we know that there's a lot of things that you could be doing, but we're honored. And if anyone wants to add anything before we close our presentation, feel free.
Thank you all.
Okay, that looks like it's done. Thank you all, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.